Hi, Kevin Henry of Dental Economics, here today at the SCN meeting in Frisco, Texas. I'm talking to my good friend Jan Keller, who's a practice management consultant. And we're going to talk a little bit today about hiring. And you've really seen two areas that dentists are kind of lacking whenever they're going to hire new team members.
That's correct, Kevin. What I find is that a lot of doctors do not clarify what they want in a candidate before they even start the process. They don't put in their core values, they don't give the communication styles. Do they want skills or experience versus decision-making styles? And then they leave out the job description, which you want to use for basing your job interview questions on. And then they don't create a very unique ad. It's all the same.
Okay.
So my goal is to help them clarify what they're looking for and also the job, and then to create something unique so that we attract the right people to the resume process.
So you mentioned a unique ad. What makes an ad unique?
Well, you just don't want to put I want a full-time assistant in or a full-time hygienist and what the hours are. You might want to do it from the perspective of the person you're replacing. Have your hygienist create the ad. Have her say something wonderful about you as the employer and why she hates to leave and she's looking for somebody wonderful to replace herself.
And obviously you've seen what went wrong in the hiring process, so talk about some of the right things that happened after people used the right way to hire people.
Well, if they use first of all, get their clarification down first and then do the screening process that can go on to and then select the right person. If you use certain screening processes, using the interview, pre-telephone interview, the communication online survey to find out how well they do and playing in the sandbox with the rest of your team members. But where I find that they lack is the integration part.
Okay.
Once they get their employee, many of us have been in the position where we have walked in and we're shown a seat and the telephone and the book or the computer and expected to do the job. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I like to make sure that my clients use what I call the integration part, which is orientation and training. 2 hours with the doctor in the beginning or the office manager to go over the tour of the office, the philosophy, the vision of the practice, do all of the forms that you need for their HR and confidential file. Mm-hmm. And then move into handing them off to the person who's going to do their training. Okay. That training, though, is 30, 60, 90 days. Who's going to do it? Place for them to write comments, what the weaknesses are, where we might need to give additional training to. And if you do that, you're going to have the best candidate. They're going to last, and your turnover won't be high, and your patients will love it. And it won't cost as much money in time, effort, or stress.
And you mentioned something just in passing a minute ago, but it sounds like a lot of the hiring process may actually happen before there's even a face-to-face interview. Is that right?
That's correct.
So
right. How
much would you say happens before you ever actually bring that person into the office, would you say?
I would say really 1/3 of it is actually the clarification part.
Okay.
And 1/3 is the screening. The selection is really just a cover letter inviting the person, if they pass their reference and background checks, okay, then giving them the hours and their salary, and if they accept and everything comes clean, then you move into the orientation and training.
And obviously you've done a lot of work to get some materials together for any dentists that might be interested, and that's
right.
Tell them where they can contact you and what they can get.
It's www.jankellerassoc.com, or you can email me at jkeller@jankellerassoc.com. And what you can get, I have forms that you can use for your pre-interview. I have forms that you can use for your orientation and training. I try to customize them though to the position, because obviously hygienists, assistants, and front desk people are going to have different needs for training processes. So,
okay,
yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Jan, I appreciate the time.
All right, well, thank you, Kevin.
Thanks.